Heyo guys, girls, and everyone in between, this is Rebellious Spacer here, and before we get started, I guess I'll kind of explain this thing. So I know in the past I have said I will not do any consistent. Heyo guys, girls, and everyone in between, this is Rebellious Spacer. I forgot to mute my. There we go. I forgot to mute my stream thingy. But yeah, anyways, today I'll kind of explain this, but I said in the past I wouldn't do any consistent weekend shows. And yes, that is still true. But I wanted to go ahead and put a brand. I kind of wanted to brand it, or put a brand on this specific show, because it's like I don't want just to have like a whole ton of just random work streams that make no sense together. So I'm going to go ahead and brand so I'm going to brand this as the weekend 10 a.m. because I'm going to be starting it around my 10 a.m. On whatever weekend days I feel like. So there's that. I'm basically going to be working on some video things. And yeah. So yeah. If you guys have any conversation ideas, please let me know. These are going to work like a random work stream, but it's gonna have a different branding on it, because it's gonna be something that it's gonna be more consistent. It's not gonna be as consistent as my show slots, because oh man, even though I really love doing this show, sometimes it annoys me how consistent it is. And yeah. I guess my fire alarm went off at a very inconvenient time, but you know, stuff happens. I'm just happy it didn't happen during one of my shows, because you best bet if the fire alarm went off during the show, I'd probably like carry my computer outside. But yeah, what am I doing? Hello, Amused. How are you? Do 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 do. But yeah, will I have a guest on? It depends on what I'm feeling. What I'm feeling that week. But yeah, it's definitely like something I'm gonna test out doing a show on the weekends. It's not gonna be very long because I have viral obligations after this, but you know, I just wanted to do something. Most of the time with this show, it's before I've had like any sort of caffeine in me, so if it's extra wonky, that's why. Yeah. Channel announcements are mostly just like I've been trying to get my voice lower and even lower and whatever whatnot. So that's what's the deal with the voice. I'm like I said, I'm going to be starting hormones on not a specific date, but like it's gonna be on like around like August to September. I'll probably end up doing like an announcement about them, whatever whatnot. What else? If you got I'm going to ask that if you guys have questions for me, about me, if I end up getting too many questions, then I'm probably gonna be like, a question here and there is fine, but if I get bombarded with like questions, then I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna do a Q&A. I don't know if I should do a Q&A right like in this stream season or not, because I feel like we did one too recently, and I've also been doing a very good job of having people for show slots. That's also true about pastry trivia. That's why we haven't had a trivia episode either, because just been having such a good. We've just been having such a good we just been having such a good track record of getting people on shows, so I kind of want to keep that up. And if I other than pastry theater, because it's like but because I always like to go ahead and start my seasons off with a show that does not require guests, so that I can have the extra week to be like, hey, this is when my show is. I'm gonna want guests. In general, I try to keep the what day my shows are consistently on Wednesdays, just because inconsistent with the same time, because for everyone who is like a repeat guest, it's nice because it's like hey, do you want on? It's literally the same time as it was last season, versus having to send everybody the new times. And oh my goodness. And what if someone was available during the previous time and isn't available on the new time? And yeah. And then as the summer gets closer, I'm probably going to have, because of just how IRL stuff is working out, I might have a what is it called? I might have a summer season, so don't quote me on that. I might it just depends on what's going on. But yeah, if we do end up having a summer season, then I'd probably still take I'd probably still take a week off or two before the regular stream season starts. But yeah, but yeah, today is also Rainbow Sparkle's birthday, so I might ask her if she wants on this show, just because it's like her birthday. But yeah. This is going to be I'm probably going to just keep the same thumbnail for the entirety of the weekend, the weekend 10 a.m.s, just because I'm not going to have any I'm not going to have any pre-planned guests with this show. It's going to be probably the least consistent pastry show out of all of the pastry shows. And yeah. Anyways, I'm open to talking about almost whatever. Just please keep politics out. And yeah. I'm just trying to think. And just so you guys know, this show is going to end by 12 a.m., so there's that. Yeah, but yeah. So this show will end by 12 p.m. because 12 a.m. is literally midnight. My goodness gracious, with the 12 with the AMs and PMs. So I would say it's technically 13 o'clock in military time, I think. Or is 13? No, it wouldn't be 13 o'clock. 13 o'clock would be 1 p.m. Anyways, why is it that the rest of the world goes on military time and yet we have AMs and PMs? I have no idea. And it's very, very, very frustrating because I'm like, whenever I talk to people who aren't from the States, it's like, what do you mean by AM and PM? I'm sorry, the States just don't want to do things like everyone else. But yeah. In general, I tend to, if it's just me on the show for too long, I tend to just, do a whole ton of tangents, and it might end up ending up turning into a rant, but you know, that just tends to happen if it's just me on air. I feel like that, there's definitely a skill involved when it comes to, like, having yourself on air versus having somebody else on air, because when it's just you, then you're trying to figure out how to fill time constantly. And it can be easy for some and hard for others. I personally feel like I tend to have a easier time filling up time than people on average, but you know, sometimes I even struggle with that. So like, that's definitely the skill that it takes to be on air alone. And then you got with having someone else on air, it's like you gotta go ahead and like trust them not to say anything stupid. You got what else? What else? If you've got more than one guest, then you've gotta figure out ahead of time. If you do shows like mine, you gotta figure out ahead of time if the guests like each other. If you end up just having an open panel, then you gotta deal with if somebody doesn't like somebody else and they both hop on, and I would rather not have to deal with that. So there's that. I feel like there's definitely upsides and downsides to like both streaming by yourself and streaming with somebody else. I feel like with streaming by yourself, you tend to just, because like what tends to happen is you tend to get a lot of dead air just because someone can't just even if their brain is racing a mile a minute, someone can't just keep on continually talking like constantly, even though like our brain, or even though somebody's brain is like going at 100 miles an hour. I feel like with having yourself on air, you sometimes go ahead and get sidetracked with what you're saying like constantly, which I tend to do that sometimes. But whenever I do tend to entertain the sidetracks on this show, and I try my hardest to go ahead and like connect it to the previous topic as much as I can. And it's just like, sometimes even in my real life, people have a hard time understanding where I got a topic off of another topic, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to explain that, but it's probably not gonna be very good. because it's impossible. Even my closest friends don't even know what's going on in my brain sometimes. Sometimes I don't even know what's going on in my brain. I could just be having like a perfectly good conversation, then I'd be like, then I go ahead and randomly look over in a random direction, and I'm like, what was I talking about again? I don't know. But yeah, being sidetracked is definitely interesting. Um, but yeah, sometimes my brain sometimes forgets to go ahead and, forgets to load the entire thought before I speak or before I think of something, and then it's just like, um, sometimes whenever I, even on the show I do this, but like sometimes I completely, like, I was having a conversation, then I forget mid conversation what we were having a conversation about, so I'm just like standing there being like, what was I doing? Sometimes whenever like people ask me to do something else and then I get back to what I was doing, I sometimes forget. Oh, I sometimes forget like what I was doing. I'm gonna make sure I have my hair layers separate. I still haven't had my entirety of my caffeine yet, but you know, haha, goofy fun. Um, I'm having a caramel hazelnut. Caramel, not hazelnut, caramel nut. Is it hazel? Is it hazelnut? Or I don't know. Tea that I have a ton of because I tend to buy it in bulk. I literally have like, I don't know how many different types of tea at one time. Which I don't know why, but I've just been having the habit of just like drinking this same one every day, even though I have a gazillion of different options. Um, but yeah, I think it's because I have like a big bag of like two different kinds that I'm trying to go ahead and like get all in a jar. I'm trying to get all of that tea in a jar because it's better. It lasts longer if you put it in the jar versus leave it in the bag. So I've been just trying to use up what I have in bags that I can't fit in the jar currently. Um like pastry, why don't you just get more jars? I don't want like a gazillion tea jars. Um I don't want like a gazillion tea jars. And it's just like if I limit myself on the amount of jars, then I can't just like be constantly like buying more tea and then like putting myself in a too big of a surplus of tea, which I tend to go ahead and like have a lot of tea on me in general. Not like drama tea, but you know, like black tea, because like um I don't like coffee hot. I also don't like my tea cold. And um people tend to be like, what the fuck? Because it's like most people like their tea cold and their coffee hot. I like my tea hot and my coffee cold. I don't understand. I don't understand why like um why the whole why I don't like hot coffee. It's very interesting how temperature of beverages changes the taste. The most notable one is water. Oh man. Like why does I'm why? Um but yeah, let's see. I I don't have a good answer most of the time. But yeah. And no, pineapple does not go on pizza. Um, some or like a chat was just like talking about pineapple pizza. What a mistake of humanity. Um but yeah. Sorry, I have a tendency of like doing a gazillion things at once and then realizing I can't do a gazillion things at once. I know. Um but yeah. Um Sorry that the 2023 was that year video took forever and a half. It was just one of those things of like 2023 wasn't a good year. How am I supposed to write the script for this without sounding extremely negative? But yeah, duh, 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 buh, buh. Let's see. I've asked I've asked the animation station if he's gonna stream again in anytime soon, but as for now, I guess I technically took over, or like I have the possibility of like taking over his like I'm not gonna say like show slot, but like the time he streams. Okay, that's too much gold. So if if I end up having a weekend 10 a.m. scheduled and then he decides to schedule a stream, I'd cancel the weekend 10 a.m. to go ahead and like watch his, because one, he streams less, and two, we're like really close friends. So I wouldn't want to take any viewership away from him, because him and I tend to base share a ton, just because of the fact that both of us can't like realistically make a video like every week. And two, we're also like extremely close, so we tend to base share. I feel like I feel like base sharing, like fan base sharing with like other creators is healthy, because it's like if you base share, then you don't really have a reason to compete against each other, you know? Because it's like, why would you want to go ahead and compete to go ahead and make your own fan base, when you have like kind of a overlap? Like, of course, not everyone who watches TAS watches me, and not everyone who watches me watches TAS, but you know. But yeah, so there's that. What else? With streaming alone versus streaming with others. Or like just in general, like when it comes to like a YouTube channel, one of the drawbacks of working all by yourself is the fact that you're responsible for everything in the channel, which is also a good thing at the same time. Because like when you're responsible for everything, like you have full control, but then again, it tends to take you forever and a half to make videos if you're an animator, because it's like it takes forever and a half to animate. And we all know that. And I've literally had friends doing animation on the side of like whatever they're doing. And then they're being like, wow, animation takes forever and a half, and I'm like, I know that. But yeah, I'm probably not going to animate as much as I used to, just due to time, and I also got consistently burnt out when I was posting as much videos as I did, so I'm gonna try and do more shows. And because I feel like that the doing stream shows tends to go ahead and give me time to work or not work, depending on what I'm feeling like doing. But yeah. I'm gonna ask Rainbow she wants on right now. Because it's her birthday. But yeah, I'm probably gonna startle her being like, what the fuck, are you streaming right now, dude? But anyways, I tend to try and, like, tell her whenever I'm doing a random work stream or whatever or whatnot, cause she wants, like, to be, like, a well-known, like, artist or whatever, whatnot in the future, so there's that. But yeah. Um. Do 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 do. Boop. Weekend, 10 a.m. And then I've got some friends who are like, pastry, how are you up at 10 a.m. on the weekend? I'm like, I'm a morning person. Late morning person these days, but you know, I'm a morning person, so there's that. Do 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 do. So yeah, anyways, sorry I keep on getting sidetracked. That's the power of having ADD. I'm gonna make a video about that one day. We love how I said it that, like, at least 5 different times and it never got made. That's because it's an ADD video. Wow. Oh man. Sorry, got distracted again. But yeah, we love getting sidetracked every fucking day. Sometimes it tends to be helpful when a job is literally when the job is like a very like spontaneous tasks, I feel like it tends to be helpful to be easily sidetractable. Like, I'm not gonna say where I work or like the company I currently work for, but like whenever whenever like a customer needs help and I'm in the middle of a conversation with a coworker, I tend to be like, be right back, and it feels natural to be like to just abruptly like interrupt myself because I constantly do that. Like my brain constantly does that. Being like, yo, but yeah. ADD and working at some type of grocery store thing. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and turn off that ringing sound because it annoys me whenever I'm on air. But yeah. My question is, why is it that ping noises have the consistency? Like, I don't know if consistency is the right word, but like, why is it that they have the like tone and the pitch of what they're of what they sound like? Like, it tends to be a very like sticky sound to go ahead and like get stuck in your head whenever there's been times to where like my brain misfires like a ping notification, and it's like, and at my job, it's like if someone needs help, then like something pings, and then I go ahead and look all the way over. I tend to look at the entire fucking section, being like, does anyone need help, or is my brain just firing off that noise for no fucking reason? Oh man, it's definitely Oh wow. But yeah. But yeah. There we go. Getting sidetracked. Yay. Um. I'm. I have it in the idea bank. Not quite a script yet, but like just after I explain what exactly I have as far as disability, I will probably end up doing like a video on how ADD affects the channel, both in positives and negatives, because like it does both, because it's like it's easier to stream when your brain cannot decide on one topic, but it's harder to go ahead and do videos because it's like my brain, it literally is thinking about what I'm doing a month from now at the same time as um figuring out like what I'm doing on the but yeah, I try to be more patient with myself when it comes to things like that, but um getting consistently distracted is a wonderful thing. I'm kidding. Um so I feel like even on the show sometimes I'm like talking to like I'm talking to like my guest, and then I get distracted and I'm like, what were we talking about? And then most of the time the guest wasn't able to remember what happened either. So it's like, And during the show we don't want to rewind because it would just be like we're not making a show to watch a show. But yeah. We're not watching a show. We're not making a show to watch a show. Which there's some streams like that where like people are streaming themselves watching stuff, which I only do that like twice a year as a part of the pastries theater. But yeah. Yeah. We love getting distracted. But yeah. Um. Getting distracted. Oh, also, not next week, but the week after. This weekend I'm not going to be doing this, or next weekend I'm not going to be doing any like 10 a.m.s streams, because I'm going to be at home doing home things, not where I'm currently at. But like um yeah, since I'm only going to be there for a week, I'm going to just not do shows. Um I'm probably still going to be working on videos just because like um my parents have work and won't be able to spend every waking moment with me, which even if they could, it something that won't be in the video, because I feel like at this point, like with how long my things that annoy me video is, I'm gonna need a second things that annoys me video if I want to cover everything. I'm not easily annoyed. It's just some things that people do is just like, oh my god, why are you doing this? Just why? But yeah, I was supposed to make this in 23, but then, I wasn't doing well, so I had to go ahead and focus more on that than videos. But yeah, but luckily we got, me pretty much situated now. So yeah, thanks to the animation station and, Metal Health, which is previously known as Dead End. But yeah, um, do bu 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 getting constantly distracted is great. It's the thing that makes life worth living. I'm kidding. But yeah. There we go. I don't like that. Let's see. I've noticed how, like, at least the people who I'm subscribed to haven't really been doing Q&As, so I might, I don't, I'm just gonna figure out my show slots, which, one of the things that I'm not a big fan of when it comes to, like, my shows, like, I don't like complaining about what I do on YouTube during, like, streams, but it's like figuring out who's on when is kind of annoying, because it's like I just don't like scheduling things. I'm gonna keep pastries arm like how it was. There we go. But yeah. The next alright. I think St. Patty's Day is next. Which, please be safe. Please be safe during St. Patty's Day. It's on a Sunday this year. But please be safe during St. Patty's Day. And then after St. Patty's Day is Easter. And then there's also Fool's Day, which I need to figure out what I'm doing for that this year. We got Fool's Day. I forgot who. Alright. I'm gonna figure it out. Last year I did the video with Tass, which we learned during that video that if out of me and him, if we needed a villain, then I'd be if him and I were doing something and we needed a villain, I'd be the villain. But yeah, I'd be the villain out of me and Tass. We already know this. I feel like I could play a villain if I wanted to. It's just I'm pastry, or who I am as a person isn't a villain, but if someone needed me to play a villain role, I would find it fun to pretend to be a villain. In real life, though, I could never be a villain. Alright. You're good. You're good, man. If you... Tass was DMing me. If you're listening, don't worry about being my distraction. I would be distracted anyways. Oh. But yeah, But yeah, let's see. But yeah. Um um so I'll go ahead and but yeah, wait. I have an idea, but I ain't gonna be sharing it with y'all. Alright, but yeah, for Fool's Day, the first year I did a, video with ink. The second video I did, second year I did it with, why is that, Bob Bovine. Third year I did it with Tass, which I would do it with Tass, but I already did it with Tass. But yeah, we learn new things every day. Which you guys probably didn't know that out of me and Tass that I'd be the villain. But you know, we live and we learn. There we go. Please let me know if you guys have any topics you want me to talk about. And if it's on the list of topics I don't feel comfortable talking about, then I'll just say it. I'll just say I'm not comfortable talking about something. If something gets brought up. Once upon a time, someone decided it'd be a good idea for me to go, or good idea to ask me how to get away with murder on a Q&A. which I did not feel comfortable answering on air for obvious reasons. Because, I really do not want to tell my base how to do a crime and get away with it. That just wouldn't be good for my morals or the channel. So there's that. I should do another Johnny Jams episode. That'd be fun. I just need to finalize the scripts for Johnny Jams, for the remaining Johnny Jams episodes I have in the script bank that I haven't touched in forever and a half. And then there's me again being thinking of 1,000,002 different ideas and only there we go. Nope. Too close to the hair color. No, I'm gonna go with orange. Because orange is considered a toxic color in pastry lore, even though it's not a toxic color. I tend to have this iconic symbol for any pastry villain. Which, it's interesting how I'm a storytime animator and yet I still have villain lore. Which, most of it is off the channel related lore, but on the channel I do also have villain lore on the channel, But yeah, I think the original pastry, or like the first ever pastry villains name, it anti pastry wasn't the original pastry villain. She was, yes, she is a she. Anti pastry ended up being created after Hope Diamond. Um, Hope and I'd be surprised if the person who Hope Diamond is based off of figures out that this channel exists. But you know, Hope Diamond was a horrible 8th grade math teacher. I do find it one thing I do find funny is like one of the reasons of why I did the channel was mostly for Camp Potato Story, which was my first ever story time on this channel. But yeah, and then the whole lore with anti-pastry, I started them off as like a direct evil clone of pastry, and then I decided to do some character development on Anti to make her more of a own character rather than just like a evil version of pastry. So why is Anti Pastry a she? It's because I get misgendered a lot and it annoys the living hell out of me. And I'm like, I'm going to make my evil counterpart be a she because it annoys me how much I get misgendered. And then the reason of why anti-pastry is also straight, which it's not to like antagonize straight people by any means. It's just more of the whole, wait, that was supposed to be a 3, not a 4. What am I doing? Guys, 2023 was so last year. There we go. We fixed it. Anti-pastry is straight because of the whole societal standard, or like the societal the societal like expectation of everyone being straight when I'm not. And when like it's perfectly okay not to be straight. It's just to go ahead both with anti being straight and cis. It tends to be like one of those like people tend to expect people to be like a certain way just because of how they were born, and like the fact that me as a person and also pastry as the character breaks those norms tends to not make some people happy. And it's just like, I'm gonna live my life how I want. And anti-pastry is just like kind of a symbolism of like just basically like she's basically like a mixture of like things I used to complain about myself for, and also she is, yeah, she's also, if you were to take a personality like mine and use it for bad instead of good. But yeah, anti-pastry lore is definitely interesting. Which, because it's not like a canon, like, not, like, anti-pastry is canon, but because it's more of a, less of like a IRL lore, and it's more of like a, made up lore, I'm not gonna make a video on it. It would just be like something I would use if I end up doing like an outside comic outside of there we go. But yeah, there we go. But yeah, if I did an outside comic then, or like a comic outside of pastry with pastry characters, then I would go ahead and end up making having anti-pastry have more like character development. Anti-pastry has a voice, but I probably would have to change it, or like I probably, as I get my pitch lower, I would have to go ahead and adjust Audacity to make the pitch go higher on anti-pastry, so that like we so that like anti-pastry can sound similar to how she did originally. But yeah, since I personally also voice anti-pastry, to be a higher pitched version of my voice, and also have more of like a villainous tone too. But yeah. There we go. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Like I do every day. But yeah. I sometimes these streams tend to go ahead and distract me. Or like sometimes I tend to get distracted during these streams just because of like but yeah, but yeah, there we go. So if you guys have any video ideas, please let me know on these weekend 10 a.m.s. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and ask Tass if he's streaming tomorrow. Because if not, then I might do another one of these. Since I'm not going to be doing this the week after next. But yeah. I do find it interesting how pastry has both real life lore and also like character lore, because like I wouldn't necessarily say that pastry the character is a fiction character, but like the things that like they experience are completely real. I do find, yeah, so now the question is, are storytime animations considered fiction or non-fiction? I've been trying to figure this one out for a while now. Is storytime animation fiction or is it non-fiction? That is the question. But yeah. To that essay, it's in the eye of the beholder, because it's like kind of bit of each. I personally would consider it nonfiction, even though it's animated. I know it's weird. Um, but Pastry is a fictional character, but but like, yeah, there we go. But yeah, I do find it interesting how how there can always be another Storytime animator who never copies from the previous ones. Like people might think that I'm copying another Storytime animator, but I'm not. Like, think about this. I everyone's their own person, and it's just kind of hard to like say someone's copying somebody else. But yeah. And I doubt that the weekend 10 a.m.s are gonna be as long of running show as long words. I don't think it's gonna be as long running as audio games or the hobby interview show, just because like there's not really much that one can do with a 1 hour block with just me on there. But yeah. I'm probably going to go ahead and be like, yo guys, what topic do you want me to talk about tomorrow for the weekend 10 a.m.? I don't like how skinny Pastry's arms are on this panel. But yeah. Since I'm doing this again tomorrow, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, adios in 3 minutes. But yeah. And then ask, like, what do you guys want me to talk about tomorrow? And if, yeah. This show was originally supposed to start on last week, but I ended up not feeling the best due to not sleeping the best, so I ended up like canceling it. That's what happened there. That's why you saw this weekend 10 a.m. that never happened, and I'm sorry about that. I forgot to mention it during the regular shows. So yeah, so that happened. Maybe I might stay on. Who knows? But yeah. There we go. I'm going to make I'm gonna make your arm shorter. There we go. Nope, I just made it thicker. We're gonna keep this because it's like, yo, dude, look at the clock. It's time to go. But yeah. Hello. Hello, Rainbow Sparkle. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm gonna see if you want to on. Since it's your birthday. Hello. Hello, Rainbow. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I started this new show, or like it's not like a traditional like pastry structured show. It's just something to a way to brand my random work streams that I do on the weekend at 10 a.m. so that it's not just like random work stream. But yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
How has it been? How has your birthday been so far?
Um, I was asking if my dad and stepmom are willing to go to Boondocks, but they said no because they were feeling too sick to, and I understood.
Oh yeah. Um but yeah, please keep in mind that you are currently on air too.
I know.
But yeah, I'm just wanting to make sure that you knew and you didn't dox yourself on accident. But you know, Boondocks. Yeah. Also, if you were wondering why the fuck do I sound like this, it's because I've been like starting voice training
Oh, nice.
to get the pitches down. But yeah, do you have anything interesting planned for today?
Uh, Not really today much, more for tomorrow. Um,
Ooh.
since today is also my mom's birthday, um, we were thinking about going to Village Inn tomorrow with some of my friends.
Oh, that sounds fun. You want to know something that is probably going to make you laugh?
What?
It's also Tass's mom's birthday today.
Oh my god! I've heard so many people with March 2nd birthdays over my life.
I'm surprised.
Oh,
I'm surprised y'all didn't think your birthday was
Seuss
yesterday.
being one of them.
What?
Dr. Seuss being one of them.
Wow. Why are people having so many babies on March 2nd? My goodness gracious. But yeah, happy birthday to Rainbow Sparkles' mom, and the animation station's mom.
Yay, it's my birthday, people.
Wow. But yeah. Do you know anyone else who was born on the 21st of May?
No.
I guess I'm a rarer birthday. Oh wait, actually, there's another YouTuber who, very controversial to the Storytime animation community, who has her birthday on the same day as mine.
Ah, yes.
I literally have Speechy's birthday.
Oh, damn.
I literally have the same birthday as Speechy. Do you remember Speechy?
No, I don't. I don't think you ever told me about that.
But yeah. What flavor of cake are you having?
We're not really planning on a cake this year.
How come? How is it a birthday without a cake?
I've gone through so many birthdays without a cake. Although last year for my Sweet 16, I did have a Sonic themed cake.
Of course.
I mean, at that point, I'd pretty much been a Sonic fan for a year.
You do not want to watch the most recent episode of the Hobby Interview Show.
Oh God, no.
I said how Mario is so much better.
Oh God damn it.
But I think Bowser is I think Bowser's better than Mario though.
That's pretty much just saying Eggman's better than Sonic on my end.
But here's the thing. Bowser's trying to get a mom for 7 adopted kids. And
What?
1 biological kid. What? Think about this. Bowser adopted the Koopalings.
Okay.
So therefore, Bowser's trying to get a mom for his adopted kids.
Well, Eggman, on the other hand, is just trying to take over the world.
And piss on the moon.
Of course, that's not canon.
I kid. Imagine if I made a video on fire drills.
Oh God.
Imagine if what would you say if I had a fire drill during my show episode, and then I'm like, screw it, I'm taking my computer outside. I said that on air. Imagine if I said, fuck off, fire alarm, I'm taking my computer outside now.
Oh jeez.
Could you see me doing that?
Yeah, probably.
And then everyone imagine if like everyone's like surrounding me like while I was doing my stream show outside.
That would just be weird.
Yeah, imagine if like, yeah, and then I feel like everyone would just be hearing, like, everyone on the show would just be hearing these random voices. But yeah, are you planning on having a chill birthday, or?
Today, yeah, it's gonna be more chill, but tomorrow is where the celebrations come in.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. My spring break's gonna be next week. So there's gonna be no shows next week. Which is gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel weird to go a Wednesday without going on air.
Man.
My brain's gonna be like, what the fuck is this? I swear, like, if I don't go on air for a week, or for, like, if I'm a part of the regular schedule regularly, two things that tend to throw off my, like, mind on what day it is if, one, I throw in an extra show, or two, I don't have a show. Because my mind is like, what day is it? Sometimes when my mind is trying to figure out what day it is, it's like, so how many days has it been, or like how many days till I'm either on my next show, or how many days since I've had a show.
Man.
But yeah, but yeah, I'm just laughing at the Homer gif. But yeah, so what do you tend to have instead of cake for your birthday?
Probably pie from Village Inn.
Fair enough. What kind of pie do you go for?
Really, the only pie that I'd ever eat is pumpkin.
May I ask why?
I'm picky.
Picky for pumpkin. That, yeah. Sorry if I ever offend you.
That's fine.
But yeah, think you'll want to sign up for a show slot in April, or no? I'd have to.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, I know you've been stressed. I'm not gonna say what exactly on air because it wouldn't be respectful, but like, yeah. But yeah, I'm working on the things that annoy me video.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what is a pet peeve of things that people do that annoy you? Like, what pet peeves do you
Just
have?
just being horrible people.
People being horrible people.
Yes.
Fair enough. I tend to. Oh yeah, that is. I'm not gonna spoil too much of this video, but that is on the list of things I thought of that annoy me. Um, the one I'm specifically working on is the people who say it's time to go and then take a half an hour to get ready.
Oh my god.
um,
That is so my dad.
like it's time to go, and then half an hour later, and it's like, what the, why? Hello, Crisscross. But yeah. You could see how it's annoying, right?
Yep.
Um, cause it's like your brain is just like, it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go, and then like someone, yeah. I feel like, as soon as this video comes out, I feel like, um, more likely than not, people are probably going to be able to relate to half of the list. But yeah. So yeah. Do you have any updates on what you're doing for your YouTube or no?
No, not really. I basically still have the one video up as well as the short, but they're both Sonic related.
Of course. But yeah. I like to banter with you about like what's better, Mario or Sonic, because we all know what the right answer is. We all know what the right answer is. Some people just choose to go ahead and disagree. I also did bash Mario during that show episode too. I said the argument that Team Sonic has for why Sonic's better than Mario. Mario's have gotten better about this, but they literally have had almost the same plot line since the beginning of time. Would you agree with that?
Well, Sonic, on the other hand, is more fluent with the plot line.
Yep, but the creators of Sonic Rushes on their games.
They've been doing a lot better with that.
But yeah, Sonic 06 be like.
Oh, yeah.
Why am I being so bantery with you today? It's because I'd be bantery with you almost any other day.
Yep.
Oh man. In no world would I say Sonic was better than Mario. I'm sorry. I could never lie like that. But yeah, the whole Bowser fan theories are very interesting though. Which technically the whole like Bowser wanting a mother for 7 children, I think is fan lore. I do find fan lore very interesting. Imagine if there was a pastry fan lore.
Oh god.
What would you do if there was pastry fan lore? Oh wait, there technically is, but it's not posted anywhere. It was created by my friend, by an online friend. Not Task, but a different person. But yeah. Why do I like to go ahead and create letters with the line tool sometimes? Like, why? Why do I do this? Why do I do anything, is the question. Some people have almost managed to figure out the method to my madness, but not quite. But yeah, are you gonna at least have ice cream today?
I've actually never thought of that. I've technically had ice cream twice this week.
I don't remember the last time I had ice cream.
What? Bruh.
Specifically ice cream. Wait, does frozen yogurt count?
I don't know.
Or wait, no, it's more of soft serve. I've had soft serve. But not like your traditional like hard ice cream. Not hard as in not channel appropriate in either direction. Like it's not like alcoholic ice cream. I just realized. Okay. Yeah, I feel like oh man. Yeah, anyways, forget that ever happened. But yeah. Do you know what you're doing for the future of your channel yet or no?
Not yet.
Have you considered the possibilities of what you could do?
No, not really.
You could be a storytime animator.
I don't really take animation. I just much rather just do single frame art.
Fair enough. I do some of each. And due to like IRL obligation, I'm taking a 3D art class too.
Nice.
I'm building a building out of cardboard. Can you believe that? But yeah. Can you believe that I'm building something out of cardboard for the level of education I'm in? Imagine that. But yeah. I'm just making fun of life at this point. Because that's the best thing to do about it. Laugh or cry. I've done both within the last month, but I'd rather laugh. What is another pet peeve that tends to annoy you, Rainbow?
When people are being stupid.
That one seems like common sense, too. Why are people being stupid? At my job, someone decided it'd be a good idea to pay like $30 worth in dimes.
What? Why?
I don't know. 30, and guess what? She had to pay the rest on card because our diamond was over overflowing. Self-checkout's dime bin was like overflowing. So, you know.
Swear to God.
Yup.
Well, that thing is gonna have an unlimited amount of dimes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Imagine just waking up, going to a store.
Where's the person keep all those dimes? What the hell?
Imagine waking up one day and being like, hey, I'm gonna pay for everything in dimes. Like, seriously! Why? And then she was like and then she was standing there like wondering what was wrong with the machine. Imagine if a customer from this specific store manages to find my YouTube one day.
Oh God.
Hopefully not the one. Hopefully not the one that
would be awkward.
Paid hopefully not the person who paid everything in dimes. Hopefully,
if that actually does happen, I honestly don't know.
There's this one guy who said I should be a stand-up comedian, which I do agree with. But I'm sitting down right now. So I can't do stand-up.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah. Wait, so does one actually have to stand up for stand-up? I think so.
Probably.
But yeah, do you want any help on like how to go ahead and like restart or like continue on with your channel? Or no?
No.
I'm kind of like rebooting, like doing stuff on the channel just due to the stuff that happened. But yeah, now that I'm feeling better, I've been going back on more to the channel. But yeah. Wait, I'm still laughing at how two people's moms that we know of today literally have a birthday today. The irony! I didn't know that you shared a birthday with Miss Animation Station. Or
let alone my own mom.
Imagine, I share a birthday with somebody's mom too. I think everyone does. But yeah. That kind of sucks that your golden birthday was your second one. Did you think about that?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Your golden birthday was on your second birthday.
I honestly don't understand.
Have you never heard of a golden birthday before?
Nope.
It's basically when your birth number matches up with your with the age you're turning.
Oh.
So mine would be my 21st birthday. Which all I can say right now is there's never going to be a video on it. because I feel like I'm not going to even remember what happened. But, you know.
Because you'll be drunk as hell.
Yep. And I'm definitely not going to have a channel appropriate day that day. And I'm probably going to make sure that on that day I don't even have access to my YouTube. But yeah. Is there anything specific that you're excited for this birthday or no?
Mainly just hopping back on Discord later tonight.
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm probably gonna either be at IRL obligation or I'm going to be at home after it. And in general, like 99% of the time after I am done working for that place, I'm like extremely like my social battery is just extremely killed. Like extremely killed.
Yeah.
Like imagine being annoyed at everything that moves.
Oh God.
I've felt that way multiple times. But yeah. But yeah. Do you have anything interesting to happen? Anything to talk about? Anything interesting to talk about on this show or no? Other than the fact that this show is literally on your birthday?
No, not really.
And out of all of your OCs, which one's your main one?
I actually just made a main one in Gacha Life 2 recently.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah. And you can put it up on stream if you want to.
Sure. Yeah, let's see. But yeah. May I ask why they have why they kind of give me Alice in Wonderland vibes?
I was just going for something completely original. That was not intentional.
Man. Imagine if you did brand it as an Alice in Wonderland OC. Hey, Tess! Why did you laugh when I'm like, hey, Tess? Oh, man.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
I haven't taken my meds today yet.
Fair enough. That's the thing about morning shows. I didn't even drink all my tea yet. And yet I'm still acting like this. I'm not like all groggy. But yeah, then again, I am a master at accidental humor, so there's that too. Accidental humor!
Yay!
Yeah! Like, seriously, like, even in my real life, I say something and then someone cracks up and I'm like, why is this funny to you? Oh man, that once happened when I was watching Tass's newest video. I literally randomly cracked up at him saying how AI knows what water is, and I randomly just started cracking up because of that line. And he probably did not mean for that to be a funny line either. I just started laughing. It's a good video. Have you watched it?
No.
Oh man, me and Mental Health, I literally was like, Mental Health, you need to watch this. I'm going to watch this with you to make sure you watch it. And it's just basically like being like, hey, AI could never replace real artists. Which is absolutely true. And then my mind went down on the entire tangent of different jobs that could never be replaced by AI. Want to know what the first job I thought of that could never be replaced as replaced?
What?
A therapist.
Oh, yep.
Imagine if you were seeing a robot therapist. I feel like that would just make me feel worse. Feel like I'd be like, you don't fucking know how it is to have issues. You're a robot. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that from me? Me yelling at a robot because it didn't understand my issues.
I mean, there's this band that I keep on telling you about.
Yeah, Citizen Soldier.
Yeah, the chat doesn't know about them.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, for the chat, the band mainly focuses on mental health.
But yeah, and you want to know what the second thing? Don't say anything about this, but the second one I thought about was elementary school teacher. Because imagine a robot trying to control like 25 screaming children. It's just not gonna happen.
I mean that's kind of shown it. It's kind of shown in WALL-E a little bit.
But yeah. Wait. Have you talked to me since I've sounded like this or no?
Nope.
Did it kind of surprise you how my pitch is a little deeper?
A little bit.
Why didn't you say anything about it? Or did I already say something about it?
You already said something.
Imagine if we go like months without a call and then like all of a sudden my voice is like way down low. What would you say?
I'd be all like, what the hell?
I'd be like, testosterone, baby. Imagine if one day, like, we weren't on calls, and like, then like on a year later, and then I'm like, I'm a man now. I'm a man now. But yeah, but you know I'm gonna be taking testosterone later this year, so there's that.
Yep.
Everyone that can know does know right now. I think. Everyone who can know does know. Because I literally told the channel. I just did. But yeah. I'm just thinking about how I'm gonna be the human equivalent to Katsune. Alright, is it chill if I go ahead and make a group chat real quick? Task once on air.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, he is, I consider him a little brother.
Yep.
Let's see, heyo. I know you're gonna be streaming for a while. Wait, no, in an hour. I'm not gonna, wait, he said in an hour. Whoops, I did not read that correctly. Whoops. Okay, you're good. But yeah, sorry about that. Rainbow, continue with what you were saying.
I can't remember what I was saying.
I was talking about that in the beginning of the episode, how I literally get distracted and then both people on the air literally forget what they were talking about. The power of ADD.
Yep.
Jeez. Anyways, alright, we're talking about how robots cannot replace therapists or elementary school children.
Teachers.
What the hell? Why did I say? Okay, robots cannot replace children either. Trust me. I literally babysit like 9 robotic children during my job. Machines that don't know how to do their job. Like, bro, like, why is it that self-checkouts can't go ahead and take credit cards sometimes? I literally sassed the machine in front of the customer. I've literally been like, you better work for this.
Was the customer like... Was the customer all like, what the hell?
They tend to laugh. They tend to laugh because I'm just like mouthing off. But yeah, but yeah, if only I could stream in an hour. Fuck. Sorry, I'm just thinking. There will be a day that I get tasked on some sort of show. But yeah. Anyways. How am I? Okay. Yeah. I'm planning on to do another one of these tomorrow too.
Nice.
And then it's gonna feel weird, like the entirety of like starting like a day from now till like not a day, a week from now till the weekend till yeah. It's gonna feel weird not to do any shows and be home. Imagine if I said, okay, we almost had a tearing your saw in half incident again. because I was about to say, um, I'm not gonna be doing home. I'm gonna be at show.
Oh, Jesus.
What the hell? It's like, I swear, it's like tearing your saws in half. Again. How many times? How many times am I going to just flip my words over? Again. But yeah.
No clue.
I don't know. I'm quite skilled at it now, apparently. Apparently I'm quite skilled at it now. Congrats to me, I guess. I know how to take it well. Oh man, but one thing that still makes me nervous is whenever I mess up an announcement on an intercom. There was one time where like I had to call somebody to unlock something for me, and the person who had the keys literally was like right there, and I literally had so many choice words for him that I could not say over the store intercom.
Bruh.
And then I hung up on the intercom and I was like, never mind. But I had so many choice words. But I couldn't say them because I was at work. And I don't normally use the pretty things we call choice words. Unless I'm I swear more on the show than I used to, but you know, life happens. But yeah. Oh man, I'm wishing I could have like stayed on air for another hour, but I have to go to IRL obligation. My bosses really like me though. I don't know why they wouldn't, but you know. But yeah. They like how I actually show up most of the time. And it's great. But yeah, do you know if you're planning on getting a job or no? Not quite yet.
Not quite yet, but I'm planning on getting my driver's permit this summer.
Same, actually. Because one thing to know about Pastry is they haven't gotten their driver's license yet when they could have gotten it, like, let's see. I'm not gonna expose my age on air, but like a good chunk of time ago. But yeah. I wish you luck with the license test. It's gonna be funny how we end up getting our... Wait, did you say license or permit?
Permit.
It'd be funny if we like took our driving test the same day. Just don't run over any stop signs, okay? That's a story. Okay, that's a story that I'll have to go ahead and tell you off air. About somebody else. But yeah. But yeah, no. So, have you, who was the first person to wish you a happy birthday today? Was it me? Or did someone wish you
it was
sooner?
It was my dad and stepmom.
Oh. Yeah, Yeah, I remember meeting them. They're chill, from what I. Oh yeah, I remember at Johnny Jams when my coworkers were putting stickers on the back because I was focusing too much on my job. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I was just like stealing, or I was peeling the stickers off the back, just looking at them, being like, why? Why is this happening to me? And your dad chuckled. And he's like, I remember back when we used to do that. I'm like, yep. Have you ever were like drawing something and then you forgot what you were drawing?
I've probably done that at least once.
Same. And then you kind of have to get back on track with what you were drawing. But yeah. I'm just not used to drawing people people laying in bed. So I'm kind of have to think about the nine like just I tend to go ahead and like draw it as if the person's like standing, but I tilt the canvas around. I feel like that's the way to do it. Laying down positions. um I swear. I swear if I had health on this show right now, it'd be over for me. And it'd be over for me and the show rules. But yeah. Platonically love her. Platonically love you too. But yeah. Have you been hanging out much with health or no? Rainbow.
Uh,
Also, do you still have that rainbow sweater? I know it's a random question. Or was it a sweater?
oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No,
You
I
don't?
just got rid of it recently.
Why?
My dad and stepmom said that it was ill-fitting.
Oh. But yeah. Um. But yeah. Um. Yeah. Imagine if like Tass is like I'm ready to hop on right when I'm like see you in defeat to come. Oh man. Uh, yeah. But unluckily for us, um, I um I have something called a lunch to eat and a job to go to, which will be end up being lucky for the channel because I'll be able to make so many videos about it. If I remember all the random ass incidences. But nah, I'd probably just go ahead and look back in DMs and be like, this is when I told Tass about this. This is when I told this is when I told health about this. Oh my goodness. It's kind of hard to go ahead and like sometimes it's kind of hard to say have people who I know in real life on because it's like what name am I supposed to call you now? Yep. But yeah. When but yeah. Do you have anything else that is interesting to say or no? Rainbow sparkle.
No, I don't.
Unicorn. Sunshine.
I don't.
Imagine if Rainbow Sparkle was short for Rainbow Sparkle and then like a gazillion other words.
Oh God.
I feel like that'd be something I'd do. But luckily, Rebellious Pastry, like the name Rebellious Pastry is technically short for Rebellious Pastry Productions. But given now how long of a name Rebellious Pastry is. But then again, some people have, first names that are longer than my entire name. Not counting middle. Some people have names that are longer than my first and last combined. Wait. But yeah. Aw, I love how you're just like drawing all of your OCs with party hats. You have so many OCs and yet I have pastry. I just have pastry.
That's just a gacha club. Or not gacha club, gacha left 2.
And then
you could put it on stream if you want.
I pretty much just have pastry and like and even if I'm transitioning, I'm still gonna keep pastry as is, but I'm probably in the future gonna have like a character that is more accurate to what I look like in the future. So there's that. So technically I'd have like 2 versions of pastry in the future. There we go. Party horns.
That's all me.
I thought
that's all me.
You goofball. I'm trying to imitate an air horn. There we go. We love how I get randomly distracted. And I said I was going to end the show like an hour ago, but I decided to have Rainbow on. We love when that happens.
Yeah, have the birthday girl on.
Yes. For whatever reason, it's just a pastry thing and an IRL pastry thing, but like I tend to feel weird whenever I refer to somebody as their gender. Like whenever you say girl or boy, I'm like, But that's just a me thing.
Yep.
Because it's like I tend to say person no matter what gender. And apparently in the UK, people just call people mate instead of like ma'am or sir. The first time
isn't that Australian?
I don't know. I honestly prefer it over ma'am or sir. Because I don't think mate has a gender assigned to it. But yeah. Also, do you want to know what I find interesting? I find it interesting how when you spend time with like a person, like so much time with a person, you start to kind of talk like them, like just instinctually. Do you find that interesting? Like, you're not even trying
Yeah, a
to.
little.
You just end up like talking like them. It's definitely interesting how people's personalities can melt into each other sometimes. Do you find that interesting? Like, and it's not
Yeah.
like influential. It's just like how somebody talks. But yeah, I do find it interesting. But yeah, what is an interesting thing? What is something that makes what is something that you find interesting in the world when it comes to like but then wait, out of everyone you know, am I the person who is the most fascinated with um first time, or am I the person who is the most fascinated with human behavior out of everyone you know?
Probably.
It's not necessarily like a hyperfixation. It's just I just whenever I interact with somebody, I wonder why they act the way they do. And it's just interesting to me. Like why like how people act and why they act that way is it's very fascinating to me. And
yeah,
I think it's because I've had like a lot of like resolution training, and it's just like, my goodness gracious. It's crazy. It's crazy how much you can use like conflict resolution training in your everyday life. And once you get that training, it doesn't ever leave your brain. And it's interesting. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just fascinated with human behavior, just in general. Because humans are very interesting if you think about it.
Yeah, I could kind of agree.
Because it's like, so whenever I hear someone's like misbehaving, my first question is why? Why are they like this? What caused them? And whenever like people vent to me too, I'm sometimes trying to figure out why the person who my friend is venting about is acting the way they do. And yeah, it's just like, and another thing I really like, one thing I'm also a big fan of is like well written villains. Like, why is someone a bad guy? Like, why? Like, I like the kind of characters who the villains who got screwed over by the universe and decided to become a villain. Do you like those kinds of villains?
A little bit.
Because it's like, I kind of like to have I kind of like to go ahead and see where the villain is coming from in the story as well. Because what if the villain was right all along? What if the villain was right all along and the story was just written from the wrong perspective? But yeah, I'm gonna end the show here.
All right.
Do you have any channel announcements?
Nope, not really.
Mine is I am still working on videos. Continue.
So I do have one announcement.
Yeah.
I am currently editing this one story that I found on this website called FimFiction. The website is basically the home of My Little Pony fan fiction,
Hmm.
and I found the story that was a crossover with Sonic EXE.
Oh man, I'm just thinking like whenever I think of like fan fiction, I it like even though like my fans are great, I sometimes I'm like fan fiction. Yikes. But yeah.
even though I write fan fiction myself.
Um I'm kind of wondering if there's any pastry fan fiction now.
Oh God. Um,
Did
there
you write any pastry
this
fan
story.
fiction? Be honest. No pay.
I am not.
Okay. Sorry, I got.
So yeah, this story that I found had absolutely horrible grammar,
Oh man.
and so I asked the author if I could become the editor for the story, and they gave me permission to.
They're probably from a different country.
Yeah, I found out that they were Hispanic.
Yeah, gotta cut the people from some slack when it comes to like them being like not knowing English grammar if English isn't their first language.
Yeah,
There's
but
just
hey, at
there's
least I made the story more readable.
that's good. I'm just thinking about how much bullshit is in the English language. I have an acronym and a word for you. That is literally like
But
the entirety of like English bullshit. MLA format.
what?
The MLA format. Have you ever had to write a paper in MLA format?
Nope.
Oh my god. It's so annoying. But unfortunately, I'm literally running out of time for the show because I actually have to go to IRL obligations on time.
Alrighty.
But yeah, now that I'm thinking about this, I'm going to go ahead and actually do this tomorrow again. Um but yeah, do you have an outro?
Oh crap. I used to, but I can't remember what it was.
Maybe you'll remember by the next time you're on a show. No, wait, you want to know something that would be super funny? Want to know something that would be
What?
super funny? If I asked somebody on the show if they had an outro and then they stole my outro. If they stole my
Oh,
outro as
boy.
a joke. I just don't want that to happen one day. But yeah, anyways. No outro for you. And yeah, I guess I'll say mine now. I put